Yo, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope that you're all doing well today. Today, I wanted to sit down and speak about cars. Now, I'm a huge car enthusiast. I love them. I know quite a lot because of my dad, so that's why I wanted to speak about that in this video. So, what we're going to talk about in this video is obviously my car. I wanted to share you my experience and journey for what it's been like since I've had my car for over 2 years, and also talk about cars in general and people judging those that have a hoopty, as it is called in the Netherlands. You finally have it. You've gotten your car license. Now, the one thing you have to do is make a choice. What cars are going to be? For me, it was very simple. It was the Mazda CX-3 GT. Now, it sounds like a fast car, sports car, but it's not. All right, it's not no pops and bangs. My car at this moment has 182 horsepower and 204 newton meters of torque. Personally, love the car. If I'm being very honest, I would not change my car at all. I would not, because of the fact that it's so reliable, and I'm talking about Mazda. For me, I think if I gotten any other car brand, I wouldn't have been as satisfied as I am with the Mazda, just because of the fact that, well, the price range is great. I mean, you can find these CX-3s for 15 grand, and they have a lot on board. Now, I got the full package one, so I've got blind assist, I've got heads up display, I've got this and this and that. But obviously, not everyone has the possibility of getting a nice luxury car as a first car. Now, there's a term in the car world, and it's called a hoopty. Pretty much is a broken down car, or just basically a car from A to B. A lot of people drive hoopties in the Netherlands, or when they get their first car, they have to think, okay, I want a car that can get me from A to B, which is reliable, but also won't cost me an arm and a leg. And people will often refer to a small car. Now, the reason why that happens in the Netherlands, I'm not sure if it happens in your country, but the less weight a car is in the Netherlands, the less road tax you pay for it. The more it weighs, the more you pay for it. We don't judge a car based off engine size. It's literally just, well, what's the emission like? What's the weight of the car? That's pretty much where it's based upon. Now, a hoopty is a decent car. I mean, you don't have to have luxury. You don't have to have this and this and that. Because that's what you see a lot with youngsters nowadays. They'll be driving at the age of 18. They'll be driving these expensive AMGs. And it makes you wonder, like, how do they afford this car? It's simple. It's called leasing a car. Or it's literally called getting a down payment on a car. And look, if that's something that you want to do, then it's totally up to you. Personally, I would never put a down payment on a car. I simply wouldn't. It's like, you know what? If I can't afford the car in one go, what the fuck makes me think I want to pay it off a month? Because the thing is, when you pay a car off a month, you pay interest over it over time. So let's say your car is 40 grand, for instance. Let's say over time it's 44,000. So you pay 4,000 plus extra in interest, because what you're pretty much doing is you're getting a car, but you're paying it off a month. It's still yours as long as you pay it off. It's like a mortgage. You get a house, let's say a $500,000 home, you pay it off a month. Totally normal. But for me, I could never understand why, especially youngsters, lease a car. It doesn't benefit them whatsoever. And I definitely feel like if you're still at that age that, you live with your parents, I think it's financially the dumbest thing you could do. I mean, I see it a lot on social media nowadays. They'll have 20-year-olds driving these BMW M3 competitions. Fantastic car, beautiful, but it makes you wonder, how are you affording this car? And then bam, 9 out of 10 times it's like, oh yeah, I paid off a month. And then you hear the payment, and it's like, what the fuck? $1,200 a month to drive a car. And that's excluding the insurance, because I can assume that it's heavy. The gas, because be honest, you drive a BMW M3 competition, you're not going to drive normal. You're going to gun that thing. And don't get it wrong, I love to gun it with my car as well. I tank about every week, but the reason why I tank weekly is due to the fact that I'm often in and out of the country for business, but also I take vacations. I mean, I'll grab my car, I'll hop in it, and I'll be gone for 2-3 days, because I live 3 hours away from Paris. I live 2.5-3 hours away from Luxembourg. I live 2.5 hours away from Germany, so I can just get in my car and drive to wherever I please and want to go to. I find it very disappointing when I see people making fun of those who don't have an expensive nor luxury car. You have to understand, like I said, a lot of people, they choose to get a small car because, well, first of all, you're new. You just got your license. The chance of you fucking up a car it's just high. The risk is there. I mean, I've been there. I have damaged my car twice so far. One time it's so dumb, but it's unfortunately true. About 2 years ago, on my way visiting my cousin when he still lived in near Amsterdam, I stopped on the side of the road. I'm like, I don't want to be on the road. I want to be in the grass. I drive over a fucking stone and it took the entire bottom of my car away and my front. So that was broken. I had to get that fixed from the dealer. And then last year when I was in Antwerp, parked in a garage. But you know when you have those big poles that takes a little bit of the parking? Yeah, scratch the front of it. So you got to take some things into consideration. Your first car is best to not have expensive because, well, the truth is you're going to damage it. You're going to hit either a pole, you're either going to hit something on the road, or someone's going to damage your car. Now, obviously, you've got different insurances for that. I've got all risk insurance because, well, like I said, I'm often in and out of the country, and in some places, my insurance doesn't cover it unless it's a full coverage. Now, the reason why I got a Mazda is, well, it's actually funny. The one that I have, at least, was not the one that I ever intended or aimed for. That was actually another color one, which had a white exterior, and it had a vanilla white cream interior. Obviously, looks beautiful, but when you realistically look at it, mud, drinks, you're fucked. So I phoned up the dealer and I was like, yo, I just got my license this weekend. I'm picking it up Friday. It was on Monday when I phoned. And he said, okay, cool, no problem. We will reserve the car for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So I phoned them Friday. I said, listen, sorry to break it to you, but I just got an email from the council. Then they said that my license will only be ready for pickup on a Monday. Is that okay? Yeah, okay, cool, no problem. So I pick up my license and I phone him again. I'm like, hey, I want to see the car. Oh, yeah, no, the car's been sold. I'm like, what? Yeah, no, we're just finishing up some touches and the finance. I said, well, not to break it to you, but I can pay this car off on the spot. You know, whatever. And they said, you know, if the thing doesn't go through, the financing, they'll call me. And I was like, yeah, not doing business with them again. So then I found this beautiful, beautiful looking one. And I'm thinking it's a basic Mazda, you know. I arrive, it's got carbon fiber exhaust tips. I'm like, this motherfucker nice. And the color, I mean, it's not a rare color by any means, but you don't see this type of dark color on this Mazda because the previous owner had done full package option, like full everything. Beautiful. The only thing I unfortunately dislike about my car, that's literally the only thing, well, actually there's two things, but the second thing is really not relevant. Well, it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder, so it's no turbo, meaning that I cannot stage 2 map it. I've got it in stage 1, and I could do stage 1 plus, but then I would have to remap it and do different coding, and then also do exterior wise a lot of changes. And well, let's be honest, for 200 horsepower, what's the fucking point, really? I mean, it's got enough horsepower for me and it's good enough. And unfortunately, the fact is, I don't know why the previous owner had done this. He had gotten the car brand new from the factory in Germany. Yes, Mazda is Japanese, but they have manufacturers in Germany because Germany, they know how to make cars. We've known and seen it. BMW, Volkswagen, Audi, they know it. And he lowered the suspension of the car, which I will be honest, it's got some pros and cons. Pros of it is, well, it takes corners like a motherfucker. When the weather and conditions is perfect, yes, it grips the tire, because mine is 4x4, right? It grips the tires on the road really good. It doesn't grip it as an Audi, but it does what it's supposed to for 4-wheel drive. The only downside, because of the fact that it has been lowered due to the previous owner, is potholes. Unfortunately, my car, in a lot of places in foreign countries, I just simply cannot drive on the road because my car's too low. I've had that a few times that I drive over a bump in the road and my bottom of my car gets hit and my engine just shuts off. I've had that twice. I'm like, yo, that's weird because my car's super low. And also when I was in Italy, man, there was this one road uphill. I was just fortunate enough to get my car up there. But luckily, my bumper did not get broken. If you will look under my car, you will see some, I wouldn't say that scratches on the bottom of the bumper. Luckily, nothing visual or visible on the front. But yeah, that is the one thing that does suck. Because when you look at the height of my car, it's visibly noticeable compared to other CX-3. But for me, personally, Mazda is a phenomenal brand. It is super reliable. And when I got my car 2 years ago, a lot of people were like, why did you get a Mazda? Why would you not get this and that? Well, because first of all, I don't want a Volkswagen, with all due respect. Everyone drives them in the Netherlands. And they are unfortunately linked with certain type of people driving them. I looked at an Audi A5. Audi is a good car, good brand. It's German. But the thing is, they're fucking expensive, bro. I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not paying for the name brand. Because a €20,000 Audi has less options than a Mazda for the same price. It's just Audi you're paying for. And yes, in some cases it is better quality, I will be honest, because my mom and dad have been driving Audi for 10 years. And I really wanted an A5, but I looked at the price and I'm like, nah bro, it's got nothing on board for what I want. My Mazda has everything. Like I said, the previous owner, thank God for that money, got the full package. And 2 years later, the car is fantastic. I honestly love the way it drives. And when it comes to long distance, it's fantastic. It is super duper comfortable. It's got heated seating. The only thing it doesn't have, I'm not sure if this was an option at the time, because when Mazda introduced this vehicle on the market, it came in 2017. So the CX-3 hasn't been on the market for that long, but I gotta say the new CX-3 is looking phenomenal. I fell in love with Mazda because of the fact it's reliable, and it's quite an underrated car, if I'll be honest. I mean, for 15 grand, you can pick up a really nice one. However, what I will say is, you've got two models. You've got the standard 120 horsepower, which, trust me, is slow as fuck. But if you don't want to spend too much money on gas every week, phenomenal. You've also got the 150, which is the one that mine came with. But I was like, no, I need to tune it to 182. And that 32 horsepower extra makes a huge difference. My car drives better. It responds quicker. And the gear changing is fantastic. Mine is an automatic. It changes gears so smoothly. And believe it or not, for the 2 years that I've had this car, I've had no issues except for the engine. Why? Because, well, the original engine has been in there since 2017. That's crazy, right? I, till this day, have to only replace the battery because of the fact that, well, sometimes if I don't start it for 4 or 5 days, I try to turn on, the ignition won't go on. The battery, man, it's drained. That's the only thing I can say. For the rest, I've had no issues with this car. I love this car. And when people say, oh, but why would you drive a Mazda? Because it's fucking good. It's reliable. And that's the most important thing for me. And that was still this day. I want a car that's reliable. So I don't want a car that breaks down every week. Unfortunately, Volkswagen are known for that. Because, well, the truth is, I looked at a GTI and a Golf 8 R-Line. I think they're very nice cars. Beautiful. But again, certain type of people drive these cars and fuck it up for the rest when it comes to stereotyping. But not only that, they're not reliable, man, unfortunately. They're all high mileage. They've all had multiple owners. And it's a DSG. And that is one of the worst things that you can have in a car. Trust me. Either a manual or automatic. A DSG, when that breaks, throw the entire fucking car away, because that is a lot of money. Now, obviously, yeah, it can break on my car as well, but it doesn't. The big reason why, because I maintain my car every month. Every month, I make sure that the tires are good. Dude, I even charge the battery sometimes once a week because, well, you never know. Maybe I'll have to hop in the car and go long distance. Then it's important for me that my battery is charged. It's these small little things that definitely have a huge impact on when you buy a car. And to be very honest, I may actually stick to Mazda forever. I don't see myself, and I just simply cannot see myself driving in another car. I just simply cannot, because I've gotten so attached to Mazda, just like my mom. She's attached to Audi. For her to have bought a Volvo CX-60, it was a huge leap, because she was like, but it's not Audi. I said, Mom, I understand, but for the same price, it's got way more than the Audi, and it scores better in general. Trust me, I've driven in Volvo before. Wow. Volvo, luxury. Now, obviously, yeah, Mercedes is a different type of class of luxury. I will be very honest. Mercedes is without a doubt the number one on the market when it comes to luxury. It's insane. I love the A-Class, the AMG, but again, too much fucking money, bro. I'm not spending 38 grand on a car that's going to cost me 800 a month, excluding insurance, excluding road tax, excluding gas. It's ridiculous. And that's what I've said before. If you've got the finances and you can afford a car a month, do your thing. But if you're making minimum wage or less than it, there is no reason for you to have a car paid off a month. It makes no fucking sense. Especially if you don't even got your own crib. The goal is in life not to act rich, but to become rich. And well, the truth is, if you drive a 40 grand car, you're not going to get that far in life, unfortunately. I hate to break to you. I know it's ironic coming from someone that lives with their parents, but I got my own crib. This is my place. This is mine. It's mine. So I can say it because, well, I got my own place. I didn't get this gifted to me. Nah, bro, I worked for this place. It's mine officially. So there's a huge difference. And by the way, I like living with my parents. I can just get out my house, say, hey, mom and dad, how y'all doing? It's something you cannot take for granted, man, especially considering my parents are getting older by the day. It's something I'm not taking for granted, man. They're getting older. But anyways, yeah, let me know down in the comments below what type of car you drive. And yeah, that pretty much. Hope you guys enjoyed it, man. And let me know down in the comments below what you think of cars. And if I make a valid point, don't go broke by spending too much money. Remember that, man. The goal is to have generational wealth. Thank you.